Hello there, it's Sarah from Paper Lovely. Thanks for joining me today. I'm going to create a card for the MFT Sketch Challenge this week, but before I get started, I want to give congratulations to Lynn Griffin and Pip Z. You are the winners of my ephemera giveaway. So in the info below, you'll find my email address. Please contact me with the address you'd like me to mail your goodies to, and I will get those out to you early next week. So jumping into the card for today, I'm going to be using the MFT Party Like a Pirate stamp and coordinating die set. And here I'm stamping these out on some Nina Solar white cardstock using Simon Says Stamp Intense Black ink. I've got a top folding card base here that I made from MFT's Summer Splash cardstock. I'm also going to use this green chevron, which is from their Calm and Cozy chevron paper pack. Here's a quick look at the sketch challenge. And I'm only going to need a small stripe of that green chevron along either side. So to make that last a little bit longer, I'm going to take this to my trimmer and I'm going to trim off two pieces that measure just a ½ inch wide. And then I'll add ATG to the back of both of those, and I'm going to line those up with the corners so it is flush along the edge of my card. Then for the center, you'll see I've trimmed out a panel of Nina cardstock to 5.5 by 3 3/4. I'm going to add some ATG to the back of that. And then I'll center that there on my card base. I have just a little bit of overhang there, so I'm going to use my Tim Holtz ruler and my craft knife, and I'll just trim off that little bit of excess there. Now here I've got a circle die from Sizzix, and this is the 3-inch circle. I'm going to center that on the panel, and I'll tape that down, and then I'm going to run that through my Big Shot, and I will put this through back and forth twice since I'm going through 2 layers of cardstock. Next, I'm going to use an additional die set. This is the Beach Scene Builder die set from MFT, and I'm running that through using some craft cardstock. So I had originally planned to make this a portrait style card, but I wanted to be able to see the beach scene behind that circle. So I ended up going landscape so that I could get a little bit of that sand in there. Now off camera, I went ahead and colored in all of the little elements that I stamped, and I used my Prismacolor colored pencils for that. I didn't use a whole lot of shading, so I've left this out for the sake of time, but I will list all of the colors that I used on my blog post for you. So here I'm going to use my ATG gun, and I'll attach that sand to the bottom of the inside of my card. And then here I'll go back to the front, and I'm going to line up that pirate. So I wanted him to be sort of half on, half off where that circle opening is, and I ended up using glue dots all along the left-hand side of him just to make sure that he was stuck down nice and tight. So I'll go ahead and place him down, and there you'll see I had 1 extra glue dot, so I'm just going to peel that off of the back of him. And then I'll continue adding everything else to create my scene. So just depending on the size of what I was placing there, I used either my ATG gun or a glue dot. For that sentiment strip that I'm going to place across the front of my card, I'm just using some scrap black cardstock. I've prepped that with my anti-static powder, and I'm going to stamp out Ahoy Mate using Versamark ink. Then I'll go ahead and heat set that using some Simon Says Stamp Detail White embossing powder. For the inside of my card, I went with the sentiment, "You are amazing," and I'm going to stamp that directly on the blue card base using Simon Says Stamp Intense black ink. Next, I'll trim down that sentiment strip. This ended up being just about 5/8 of an inch wide. And then I'm going to go ahead and place it on the front of my card base. So I added some glue dots on the left hand side and placed it behind his head, and then I'll add some ATG on the opposite side. I'll trim off that extra there. And then just to finish things up, I wanted to secure that a little bit more, so I'm just adding 2 more glue dots behind. And here I'm going to grab my Uniball black gel pen, and I'm just going to go over his eyes and eye patch and a few of the details on the inside of the card as well. Sometimes when you use the Prismacolor colored pencils and you're going over that stamped line, it can sometimes look fuzzy. So if you use this pen afterwards, it just helps highlight those black lines a little bit more. And that will complete our card. You'll find additional photos as well as a full list of supplies at my blog post, linked in the description below. If you enjoyed the video, please leave me a comment or a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.